Good evening, everyone. I'm really thrilled to be here, and I'm really honored. And I want to thank you all for, having me here, and in particular, Paul and John from Print Action. And I'd like to thank my family, my beautiful wife and two daughters, Margaret and Kimberly and Christy. Missed a lot of dinners, sorry for that. But I've been in the business for over four decades, and I'm proud of our industry, and I'm really proud about how you have made it through a lot of changes. You've seen opportunities, you've been able to transform your businesses. It's been remarkable what you've done. When I look back, when I started in the early 70s to the 80s, it was a great time. The economy was growing, and the businesses were growing, and we used to laugh and say, in spite of ourselves, we're going to be successful. And then in 1984, something happened, and it wasn't George Orwell, it was Apple with the Macintosh. And that's when things changed. Things changed dramatically for me in the upfront and in the design and the graphics and the creative. It's a time where we went from analog to digital, and we were a craft-oriented business, and that now has come into the real business world. We're now being measured by real business terms and indices in so many ways. And then consolidation started to happen, and there were the big players, the Quebecors, the Transcons, and the Shocks that started acquiring. And there, again, we did a great job of reinventing ourselves, and we've transposed and been able to find areas and work with technology and embrace technology, invest confidently in technology. And we were doing pretty good, and then 2008 came, which was, where everything fell apart, in the US especially. And this led to a lot of economic uncertainty, and with that, companies they couldn't increase their top line, so they started looking for ways of reducing costs. And by global sourcing, by procurement, but we reinvented ourselves again, which I'm proud to say. And then the consolidation still continued of our business. And a lot of you today in this room are probably reporting into a head office, whether it be in Canada, internationally, or in the US. And I reported into the US, and it's funny how we look like Americans, and they treat us like Americans, but we're not. And the case in point was, it was one day in my office, I got a phone call, and I saw that it was our corporate office, and I picked it up, and it was Gary from corporate. And we were putting in an enterprise system, and this system was something that was what we were trying to do to reinvent ourselves with our acquisitions worldwide, all our business units, to be able to talk together for load leveling, to find economies and economies of scale. And so we're putting in the system, and Gary says to me, Cockerill, he says, do we have to put French in this system? I said, of course we do. That's what Canada's all about. It's woven into who we are. French is a big part of what we do. Oh, well, this is going to mess everything up. And I said, that kind of bothered me, the way that he was treating us as a country. And I don't often get upset, but I got a little bit upset. And I said, look, don't put it in now, but make provisions, because we were the beta site. Make provisions for French in the system, so once we roll out, then we can put it in. So that seemed to help him a little bit. But I was still a little upset, and I said to him, dealing with Canada, I hope you're putting in metric time.
I remember this story.
And there was this long pause on the other end of the phone. And I was waiting. And finally, Gary says, "What the hell is metric time?" I said, metric time. I said there's 100 seconds to a minute, 100 minutes to an hour, 10 hours to a day, and 10 days to a week, and 10 months to the year. Oh, you guys in Canada mess everything up. So just, you have to have fun. Just a little example. I'm sure you've all gone through something similar to that. So I'm going to take off my shock hat and put on my packaging consortium hat now. I'm still the chair up until this spring at our AGM. And I ask everyone in this room, if you're involved in packaging, you've got to get involved with the PAC. It's a global organization. It's headquartered here in Canada. It's the only one like it in the world. And just a couple of examples would be Pack Next. Pack Next is all about a world without packaging waste. And you say, you know, that's good from a corporate social responsibility point. That's pretty good. From myself and my kids, environmentally sustainable, that's great. But there's something behind it. And it's extended producer responsibility, EPR. And this is something that is being developed, and it makes anyone that produces any packaging responsible for the waste of that packaging. This is looming. And PAC has engaged the Canadian Council of Ministers of the Environment, the provincial and territorial ministers of the environment, and all the municipalities working with the waste people and the MRFs to be able to come up with a solution, how we can handle this. And herein, as we talked about, another opportunity lies in our business to be able to be the subject matter expert to our clients, because someone like the likes of Canadian Tire, they project this is going to be a $30 million hit to their bottom line. And so they're going to be looking for solutions and answers. And maybe that's a way of becoming an industry leader here and offering them solutions to help them out. Then maybe pricing per thousand isn't that important. It's important, but maybe not that important. And another area is packed food waste. It's a world without food waste. And with deforestation, urbanization, and population growth, within the next 50 years, we're going to have issues. And between farm and field, we lose 33% of food. Now, we've got to work to be able to protect that. But you have to look at the big picture. You have someone like Walmart says, we're going to reduce packaging by 15%. Okay, that might help out from an environmental perspective. But what does that do to food waste? Does that increase food waste? So you got to look at it holistically. And this is the place, PAC, with their education and with their networking and packed food safety, this is a place where you can go and get that information. They have tremendous white papers, and the research is just absolutely unbelievable. So I asked you to check out the Packaging Consortium. And now my last hat is Ryerson University. Being a grad, and I know there's people from Mohawk in the room, it's a fabulous school. I'm not saying anything about Mohawk and comparing it to Ryerson, it's just I'm familiar with Ryerson being on the Board of Governors and then an advisor to the School of Graphic Communications Management. And I'd like to say that those grads, and there's some in the room that will be and some that are, and there's a bunch of you here, you know, you have to hire these people. These people are scary smart. And today, if I applied to get into the school, I wouldn't make it. The people in there are absolutely the brightest of the bright. And my secret to success has been to surround myself with really bright people, and these are bright people. So thank you all very much. I'm very honored with the award. I'm very proud of the industry I'm in. I'm very proud of you that you've been able to reinvent yourself. And the challenge every day and the ladder gets higher. So thank you all very much.